The butt kickers, the woozers, the sub packs, they were pioneers in saying, hey, let's give you a solution where you don't have to have the full speaker driver, but you can then start to feel the frequency range. But you know, I think they started here, and there's now we have work to do as a industry.
All right, Dr. Castro. This is going to be a fun topic in your dissertation because we're going to be jumping into defining tactile audio.
Ooh.
So a lot of times people hear, you know, acoustic audio and they hear haptic audio. Tactile audio is just kind of this little thing that like is on the side that most people just don't understand. So how about we define what tactile audio is and give some examples of solutions out there for tactile audio?
Sure. Ironically, it's also probably like the thing that people have heard about, and then everything that involves feeling sound is tactile audio, which is also not necessarily the most accurate. But to start with, we need to start defining what it is, right? So obviously my research delves into how much our bodies could actually feel, or at least theoretically, hypothetically feel, based on other people's research and also based on you know, some reports, and then kind of understanding how these mechanisms fall into play. And so we kind of know there's a wide berth of how much frequency that the human body can feel. At least, you know, that's been shown so far. And so when you say tactile audio, it does literally define itself into audio that can be perceived tactilely, right? So through the sense of touch, audio. So when we first started researching this, or when I first started researching this at university, I looked into, great, I can finally use some of the research funds to get some of these things that say that you can feel sound. And as a hard of hearing audio engineer, I was so excited to say I could finally hear clearly what I've been wanting to hear this whole time. You can imagine my shock or disappointment to a degree that it was a very good bass response, but they capped it and it was just only bass. And I was like, wait a minute, if I wanted to feel this, I could just put my hand on a subwoofer, which is what I did for a long time. Being hard of hearing, I was trying to mix, you know, bass and drums. I put my foot on the subwoofer and I put my hands on the speaker, and that's how I was getting my tactile information. But that was much more information than I got from market offerings of tactile transducers today. Now, when people aren't used to tactile information, that's a pretty cool thing. Hey, it's like a subwoofer, but I can feel it coming through, you know, my body. So that's a cool thing. And I think tactile audio has kind of risen in the last couple of years with the rise of haptics and other types of immersive stuff. But I think the current accepted definition of tactile audio is a very low frequency sub-range, basically up to about 200 hertz, not really much higher. And that's kind of what I would define as the market offerings of tactile audio today.
Got it. So it's, as a reference for people, right? You go to a music festival, you're getting that thump, the buzz. Like you're taking those big woofer stacks, the pressure waves, and you're centralizing directly to the body, and that's what is perceived currently as tactile audio. But what you were telling me is, if you really are looking at the definition of tactile audio, it's as far as your body can perceive from physical touch of audio information.
It's in the name. It's in the name. Tactile audio should be audio you should feel. And so, not to put any of the people down, you know, the butt kickers, the woozers, the sub packs, they were pioneers in saying, hey, let's give you a solution where you don't have to have the full speaker driver, but you can then start to feel the frequency range. But you know, I think they started here, and there's now we have work to do as a industry to push it farther and farther, so that way we can deliver all the frequencies that our bodies are able to feel, because that comes in the form of texture, over harmonics, over detail, over nuances, someone's voice you can now feel. Some can do it, but they do it in a lesser and lesser extent the higher the frequency goes. But it's a start. It's a start, and I'm excited that we're in that race a little bit, and we're really pushing the envelope and seeing how far, you know, our solution can do. But that's a topic for another video.
So our company that's looking at embodied sound, it's not tactile audio?
It is in the literal name of it, but it's not when you consider what is out there in the market and how they describe themselves as tactile audio.
Got it. So tactile audio, it's its own positioning in physical audio space, but there are other things out there that can be created in tactile, in haptic, in acoustic, and so far.
Yeah, it can go as far as the human body can hear, right? As far as the eye can see, as far as your body can hear.
Got it. Well, I'm excited to talk about that another day.
Next video.
Awesome.